So I wanted to really build a relationship with God. And during the video series, it gave me an opportunity to not be able to just go to church and, be with everybody and just be me and God. And that gave me a lot of chance to focus and build more relationship and figure out what I really wanted for myself. Um, it was really good. Um, just I gained more joy out of that experience. And joy is a state of mind. It's one of the fruits of the spirit. And I wanted to be joyful more. So I just really thank you for that online ministry. It was really good. I love sharing the content with other people. It's really gave me a good chance to stay connected. So thank you.
Hello, Citadel family and friends. I missed you guys, but I'm so glad to have this opportunity to tell you about my virtual victory. So, my virtual victory came from Burdened by Disbelief Part 3. This sermon was talking about how they didn't believe, they just didn't believe. And Pastor was telling us about how disbelief could lead to different things. So, the one that really stuck out to me was if you have disbelief, it could lead to depression.
Point number 5, disbelief makes you depressed. Yeah, you got to be careful because this is not the time. Thank you, Brother Drew. This is not the time where you can start finagling with spirits of darkness. Oh my goodness. You're going to mess around and let your disbelief turn into depression. Jesus Christ said to them, what's going on? Why are you talking like this? Glory to God. Why are you sad? Are you sad? How could you be sad if I told you that I was going to do this? Why are you sad? It's truly not because you can't get to the club. It's because you don't believe. You're sad because when it hit, you wasn't saved. Oh my God. Oh my God. You're sad because when it started, you wasn't sanctified. And everybody that you used to bring over to the crib wasn't coming no more. You're sad because you didn't have all your creature comforts. And then
now, before hearing this sermon, I had been feeling a little low for probably 2 weeks, a little down, and I wouldn't label it as depression. I'll just label it as sadness. I was a little sad, disappointed. I was a little disappointed. So I was feeling disappointed before hearing this sermon, and then when I heard this sermon, he said disbelief could lead to depression. And I was like, well, I don't have any disbelief because I feel like I believe in God and I believe that God can do all things, that God has all the power and he is able to do all things. So I was like, well, I don't have disbelief in God. So is it disbelief? And that's when I concluded that it was my disbelief in myself because I felt like I had messed up and I felt like I had fallen short and all these different things that I had done wrong. And then as I was continuing to talk to myself about it and things like that, I was like, well, if God is in me, God created me, I believe God. Do I not believe the God in me? Do I not believe that God can do exceedingly abundantly in my life? Like, is this my problem? Am I struggling with disbelief? And so I was talking to God and I was, trying to work through that. But it was the end of the sermon. So I was like, man, I wish I could call in and be like, hey, Pastor, don't end the sermon yet. But, you can't do that. So I was like, well, if he ends the service, when he ends the broadcast, I'm just going to turn on worship music and try to take myself the rest of the way. But he dismissed but the broadcast kept playing. Then he came back a few minutes later. He was like, God has not released me to end this broadcast. Now, mind you, by this point, I have cried all the tears in my tear ducts. I've been talking to God this whole time, but I was trying to prepare myself for if he ended the broadcast. Came back, he said, God's not releasing me to end the broadcast. And I was like, man, God, you care about me this much that you're going to hold up a service that I'm not even physically at to make sure that me and people like me can get this virtual breakthrough. And when that happened, I was like, okay, you know, God really is listening. God really cares about me. And then Pastor came back a few minutes later and he said, God is going to do the work. Now, that's when I just lost every bit left that I was trying to hold together, because I have been trying to fill in the gaps that I felt like I had missed, and I've been trying to do all of these things to prepare myself for a better future, but I still felt like I was falling short. And because I felt so bad, I was just like, man, well, I can't do it. But then Pastor Gano said God's gonna do the work, so I'm just like, well, God, I can let you do the work. I just feel like faith without works is dead. But I forgot to put my faith first. So that's a little bit of my virtual victory. I mean, I could do this for every one of the sermons, but this is a little bit of my virtual victory. So thank you guys for letting me share.